Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. It is Ilyasa Simpson. I am Ilyasa Simpson. I am your host for tonight. This is the platform for men, the platform for men to speak and for us to hear what needs to be heard. So tonight, this is the Where is My King platform. We come on every Thursday at 7 p.m. In other words, we're talking about hashtag the men's locker room. So yesterday was the day for women. Where are my queens? That's what most the men are now saying because we were talking about where's my king all of this time, but they came to me and said, Ilyasa, okay, so we're talking about the kings, but where is my queen? Right? So there is black love out here. The men want women to love, and women want men to love them in return. So, yes, we are here. We want to break barriers. This ministry is all about breaking barriers, all about healing. The charge room. The charge room is here. And a part of the charge room, I am called Minister Charge. So you will get a charge every time you will come on this platform because it's about bringing awareness. We want to bring awareness to help us build ourselves from the inside out, right? So it's so many people from the time we are born to the age that we are now. We have all went through something. We went through trauma. We went through heartaches. We went through beatdowns in our minds, our spirits. We were spiritually broken, right? But we tucked it away so many times because we had to live life. We had to keep going. But guess what? Some of us never healed. So we become angry in our spirits, right? We become bitter. We become low in our souls and get holes in our hearts because our hearts have been broken time and time again. We jump from one relationship to the next relationship, hoping that the next one is the right one. And then as time goes past, we are left with broken hearts again. But tonight, what we're here to do in the men's locker room, we want to talk about it. When is it time to take responsibility and be accountable for our actions within our relationships? Again, we want to be a part of the solution. We can't no longer sit with problems. We have to stop having challenges in our way that is stopping us from loving each other. We can love and we can love again despite being hurt. But we have to let go so we can heal, right? Healing is a hard, challenging process. It's scary. We when we get our heart broken, we don't know how to trust. So it's hard for us to accept certain things. So as we look at new relationships and want to enter them, we are entering new relationships with a broken spirit. And what happens is we expect that new person to fix us unconsciously. They don't know it, but that's what we unconsciously have in our spirit, like, oh, I'm going to meet the right women. We do it a lot. We do it more than often. But we also have to take accountability for our behavior. So I just want to bring our panelists on the line tonight because we're going to get the male perspective. And then next week, we're going to come back and bring the female perspective. So I need 4 women for next week. So let me know who's ready. Let me know who's ready. I need 4 women for next week. But tonight, we're going to talk about the male perspective. When is it time to take accountability for our own actions in a relationship? So we're going to introduce King Herman. We're going to introduce King K-Wise. We're going to introduce King Fatherwise. We're going to introduce King Sean. We are here tonight. This is a men's only panel. And we want to talk about it because there are so many times that so many women are angry. Gentlemen, I know you have met women. When you meet them, they are so angry. But we want to be a part of the solution. We want to make this platform a way to bring awareness that we have to effectively communicate with one another instead of throwing up our hands and saying F it. Somebody has to care. Somebody has to sit down, roll up their sleeves, and say, let's work. Somebody has to do it. And if this is what we need to do to let people know that it's okay to agree to disagree, you can still love each other. It's okay to hurt, but you have to talk about the pain. If you don't talk about it, we can't heal. So I want to start the discussion off by using me as an example as a woman. In my lifetime, I've been through some relationships. Most of them, really all of them, they were really good. But there's a point in time where our journeys do not stay on the same path. I'm a bit ambitious. Maybe I made the decision of choosing somebody that was not as ambitious as I am. I'm adventurous. Maybe I made the mistake of choosing somebody that wants to sit down and watch TV versus travel because I like to travel. I want to travel the entire world. My parents embedded that in me. They started me out. My first trip, I was probably months old in the Bahamas. I've gone many places all over the world. So now that I'm grown and I'm mature and I want to have a companion, I want a companion that wants to do what I do. I can't have a companion that wants to sit on the couch, drink beer, and watch TV. So for me, being in different relationships, and I became heartbroken for infidelity because I'm trying to be in a committed relationship, heartbroken for finding out somebody is smoking crack in my relationship, heartbroken that somebody's shooting heroin in my relationship, somebody who wanted to beat me in my relationship, somebody that wanted to cheat on me in my relationship. Somebody who was married and didn't want to tell me they was married, and I had to find out later in my relationship. So that leaves me with multiple broken hearts. I should, I have a challenge trusting men, but I had to take responsibility to say, I want to make better choices. Maybe I need to communicate better with my mate that I choose to be committed to. Maybe I was given too much of my heart and wasn't learning how to build before we had sex. Maybe it was me that said, okay, well, whatever he was saying, I was just being gullible for it because I just wanted to be in love of what I thought was love. So I have to stand up for me, to fight for me, to say, listen, no more. No more to somebody hurting me. No more for somebody calling me out of my name. No more for somebody who wanted to punch me in my face. No more for somebody who wanted to steal my money because they wanted to use drugs. No more for somebody lying to me in my face and I'm still going for it because my heart is like, oh, but I love him though. I needed to have you in my bed because man is my weakness though. I have to stand up and say, no more. No more will you have sex with me and don't know my name. No more. So I had to go on a hiatus with myself to say no more because I am enough. I am worthy. But I had to go to God for that. I can't go to my friends. I can't go to my associates because they can't help me. Only my God can help me. So I had to let go of people because there's a journey that I had to walk by myself. I had to leave people completely alone because I said no more. I'm not accepting no one treating me like I'm less than human. Only because they didn't know how to communicate, only because they didn't want to talk about their problems, only because they couldn't stop hurting and they covered it up with bad behavior, mistreatment, talk calling me out my name. I'm not accepting that no more. So I had to take responsibility as a woman to not have nobody around my son, to say, I don't want my son to see me in a bed with every man every other month, every other relationship, every other year. I don't want him to see that because I don't want him to feel it. It's okay. I don't want him to call anybody else daddy but his father. I had to make that decision. No man around my child. But that's me standing up for myself, standing up for my household, making a decision that I had to say, I had to make an empire for me and my son. I had to take responsibility and accountability for that. I had to be the leader. I had to go to school because I wanted my son to see his mother go to school so he can go to school. I had to graduate, not just to go, but graduate. I needed him to see that there's an end game called graduation so he can graduate. I had to go to college so he can see that, oh, I can go to college. I had to constantly be that leader in my son's life so he can be a leader. I had to teach him how to be a leader because that was my choice. I have to stomp out mediocrity from my family. I had to stomp out generational curses from my family because that's what I want, and I'm saying no more. So we have to do it together to say no more and stop saying, oh, I'm weak from the flesh. I need to have some ass. Yes, I said it. Build your mind. Meet somebody and learn them, know them, so you can understand them, not just hear them. There is love out here. We have to want it that bad to let go of our past. So we don't take our past and jam up our future and we are left stagnant in the same position. As I always say, stop chasing your tail in circles because you're only digging a hole for your life. So I'm here today as a woman on this man's platform to represent for every woman that cannot stand up or speak up for themselves. We want to hear your perspective of when can y'all grow up, because we need to grow up. So, and people will say, well, the women this or the women that. Guess what? The man is the king of the castle. The man is supposed to lead. So if the man is not leading, how can your queen follow? We need men. We need men to think with their head and not with the head between their legs. We need to rise up with maturity. We need to rise up together to build empires. So let's start with the question: when is it time to take accountability of our own actions within a relationship? So, who would like to go first?
Well, peace, peace. Can everybody hear me?
We hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first, I want to give you a round of applause for bringing it in so fire and feisty. You know, throwing that out there like that. Number one, again, speaking from this is my own concept because can't speak for all my other brothers, but I can say that when you have an understanding of who you are and you come to that within yourself and you learn your partner, y'all start coming together. Again, everything deals with a lot of communication and comprehension of learning of one another, the do's and the don'ts, you know, the what and the what nots. So when you get into certain situations, you got to remember sometimes you bring your own baggage into a new relationship because of hurt and things that you don't mean to bring that force something on them, but there's some things that trigger that can take a person back to what it was like within that past relationship. So then again, the defensive mark. This is when, as a man, you gotta, like I said, sometimes you gotta be able to step out your own way and be like, hold up, let me check myself for a minute. Because if there was something that I did that I really wasn't ready to listen to or adhere to, I'm still stick to my gut until I come to the realization, like, you know what? I got to double look at my part in that equation because it's easier to play the name blame. It's easy to do that. You did this to me. You made me do this. But when you stop and think and say like, you know what was it that I did that may have caused this action or reaction? That's when you start learning about what your self-worth is, how much you value yourself, and then how much you value your partner. Because no matter what, your partner can't solve nothing for you. That's within yourself first. As a man, we got to make sure we right and exact within our own. And sometimes it takes that queen to show us a little bit of the light that we might be seeing dim in a different spotlight, but not for her to take over, but for just to shine her little knowledge of it and be like, you know what? Okay, I'm aware of it now. So now we can build on that aspect together. And then I'll say that for the foremost, because there's a lot more I can say, but we got a panel of other wise brothers here that I would love to get their insight on. So, I'm gonna end my portion with that. Peace, brother.
Who's next?
Uh, I'll go. First
Okay.
off, hey Wise, I hope that's a Tesla. Getting me nervous over there.
Yeah.
But to answer your question immediately, once you take on the responsibility of taking someone else into your world, you should be prepared to be able to be accountable not only for your actions but also for whatever actions transpire between you guys. For example, uh, you shouldn't enter a relationship until you're detached from your baggage, and that's a mistake that a lot of men and women make. And for example, I was in between a relationship recently, and I had somebody who was very interested in me. And I shared with them, I said, I can't get involved with you because I'm still not detached from my ex. And she was very adamant, very clear on her intentions for what she wanted to be with me. And I love her to death. I would marry this woman. But I could not bring her into a situation that I did not detach from, and I'm not detached from with my ex. So that's the accountability I had to take, because I could have took advantage of her very easily, because that's basically what she was offering. She was like, yo, I understand you got somebody, and I don't mind being on the sideline until I'm a starter on your team. And I'm like, nah, I could not take advantage of that. I mean, although it was very intriguing, it was very appealing, the offer, but as a man, you have to, as you said earlier, not think with your head between your legs. And that starts with maturity. And a lot of men who are of age are not mature. In the same way, a lot of women who are of age are not mature. And they feel that age makes them mature, but taking heed to responsibility of your actions is what makes you mature.
Okay.
Facts. I got it. So when it comes to taking accountability, it's something that, me, I look at it, I take it, but maybe not all the way to the point where it really needs to be taken. And so you kind of take it on a 50 to 85%, but then that other percent, you like, okay, if it comes up, I'm gonna deal with it. But as I'm, dealing with it and what I've already dealt with, I'm like, okay, I did this didn't work. I did this didn't work. I'm into like, let's take responsibility, but for all actions, and let's go through everything before we call it quits, or we say let's give it up or turn it in. I'm one of those. I go down to the wire, and then like I said, if you go down to the wire and you took the accountability, but on the other side it didn't meet, or there's still some blame. As a man, I step up, I take that, I eat that.
Okay. Father, why?
And let me tell you, at 53, for the last 17 years, right, I've been accepting accountability. I've been accepting everything, right? But 50%. I'm not doing no 100. I'm not doing no 80%. It was my fault. Of 100% my fault. I'm not doing none of that. I'm taking responsibility for 50% of the problem, my half, right? Other than that, I'm not doing it. I was just listening to brother, and and I respect that. Not wanting to get with someone else while you still have time. I did that once, and I regretted it ever since, because I came from a relationship 20 something years where my children's mother cheated on me, right? And in return, I had found somebody, and she was good to me, and she was good for me, most importantly, right? But I wasn't over the baby mama. And so I was with both of them until it hit the fan. And then I regretted it ever since. Because if I'd have known all of this stuff was gonna happen with my daughter's mother, I would have just stayed where I was at. But I'm not even gonna say because it was greed, or because I could have, or because I could do it. It's just that it's just something that just happened, right? Um, that was completely my fault. Period. That's the only thing I can actually say that was my fault, right? Other than that, nah. But but accepting responsibility is something that I never had a problem with. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll say I'm wrong. Period. because my whole thing is, and if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, whatever the case may be, because my my response to all of that is I always say what I want to say. I say what I need to say, not what I want to say. Because most of the time, you know, so that's how I operate. And I I'm like this. Yeah, I did it. What? Can't beat me. All you can do is yell and scream. But you know, I that's just how I operate. I'm real. I operate differently. You know?
He
I'm,
said
I'm
you can't beat me.
I got a question for you, Father Wise. You said
Yeah.
you were at fault in that situation. What was your fault?
my fault was being with somebody and not being completely over the past relationship.
But there's no fault in that if you was open and honest. You said you only tell what you need to. If you would have
I was
just
gonna
told
say that.
everything that was, nothing would have hit the fan because it would people get upset with what they find out, not with what the truth is.
Okay. Okay.
And if
You
you would
took
have
the
told them,
words
you
right out
probably would have had them both. As long as you secured both of them, they probably would have been okay.
Yeah. The daughter's mother is a little difficult. I just put it that way. She difficult.
Well, it would have been easy to dismiss it at that point because you're like, yo, I told you what it is. You either gonna stay here, we're gonna build with our daughter, or we're not.
At that time, like I said, I was younger. The younger me. The younger me.
Understood, understood.
The older me is something completely different, bro.
I
Completely
understand.
different.
I understand.
Okay,
And
so from listening to everyone, what I hear is when a a, a king, I'm gonna say a king, because you all have matured. Where you are right now, you've all matured. I'm speaking to the young king, right? I'm speaking to the young king right now. The young king before the king emerged was a different beast. The young king might not have known that he was royalty. The young king was less mature or not mature at all or battling challenges in his life. And what they did was probably run and hide every time because humans, because we are human, we will try people to see if we get away with it. And when we try people to see if we get away with it, when we get away with it, we do it again. And
Mm-hmm.
then we do it again. And then we
Yep.
do it again until somebody gets angry. And I'm speaking from the woman's perspective again. We have a tendency, and again, I'm taking responsibility. We have a tendency, we will feel energy that something is wrong. And we may see something, but we act like, well, maybe our minds are playing tricks on us. Maybe what I'm feeling is, me, I'm overthinking something. My gut feels real funny, but I just don't want to ask him nothing because I don't want him to think that, I'm going to be a bother to him and I don't want us to break up. So I don't want to say nothing to him. And I just don't want to stir no problems between us because I really like what we have here. So every time you come home or come to my house, you smell like another woman. Every time we're together, you're emotionally unavailable. You, you just started acting like this. What's baby? You okay? Oh, I'm good. What's going on? I'm good. But the whole time, you got a whole nother family somewhere else. The whole time. And then there's the day that it catches up to you because you was messing with this one, this one, this one, and this one. And because we're women and we love you so much, and we don't want to break up our happy relationship of what we think is happy, but we know in our gut that you was definitely messing with somebody else, but we still don't say nothing because we down for the cause. We don't want to interrupt any energy that feels so good. I'm talking to the young king because now I'm starting to bleed inside my soul because it's getting closer that it's coming. Like you leaving evidence now. You was driving my car with somebody else in it. But I'm still trying to, okay, I'm saying something now. And you going off on me. You may even punch me in my face. You don't know what you're talking about. You may even drag me down the hallway. You always thinking something. You always in my business. Who you think you are? Mind your business. F you. So we're like, but I know something is wrong. You don't even talk to me anymore. You don't just have one, you got three. I'm talking to the young king right now. Where's the maturity at? When did that pivot happen? With that woman that you have, you're doing all of these things too. And y'all, the more famous one is when the man makes the woman think she's losing her mind. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Can we address that?
You sure can.
Oh, well, first off, once again, maturity doesn't come with age. Maturity is taking responsibility for your actions. And what you just described, I can only say, that's your booger, you picked him. And I can't sit there. I always tell all my female friends, it's real easy to tell ahead of time when you're dealing with somebody who's a liar. Because if they're telling little white lies, they're telling bigger lies. So if you hear, for example, you sitting with your man and his homeboy called, he said, yo, you sitting with him and he said, yo, I'm just out with my boys. He just lied to his boy for no reason. If you can't recognize those little things, those bigger things are going to be traumatic. And they lead into the situations that you just described. And it has a lot to do with his character that we've been speaking about that you didn't recognize because I don't know whether it's he was lying too well, you were blind to it, those gut feelings you did not recognize. Usually those gut feelings, the only reason why you can't separate yourself is because you already got intimately involved. And that's why yesterday when we were speaking, I said intimacy is really the key that will blind your clarity.
Absolutely. 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 And that's why I always say, sex clogs your brain waves. Sex makes you blind. Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. And to speak on your point as far as age, the reason why I say that, I was 17 years old as a professional rapper. I was on tour. I had a girl. I honored my relationship because I decided that's what I wanted to do. So it didn't take age. I had women on. I had all my people on the tour bus like, yo, Sean, man, yo, what you doing? You blocking, blah, 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 blah. I had that pressure. Meanwhile, my girl was sitting there tripping on me, and I'm like, to this day, she'll say something like, yo, you called me a stupid itch. When I said, that's because I'm sitting here honoring and you sitting there questioning. And you didn't even recognize that I'm honoring. So it doesn't take age. It takes a choice, and taking the maturity comes when you take on the responsibility of your actions. And I just at a young age, my pops left my mom's when we were 6 months, and I decided I'm not going to be that person. So when I got into a relationship, I treated it like a marriage. Yeah, I got hurt in some of those situations, but I had to mature out of that as well. But nonetheless, it didn't change my position of the character of I want to honor my relationship because that's just what I felt to do, and that was at 17, and that hasn't changed to almost 50.
Well, let me throw
Well, Sean, most men don't think like that from 17.
And,
17,
and,
they
and
outbuff
guess
it.
what? And
Everything.
guess what? You're right. And I put it on the men. Men, man up. Because they could have. They didn't choose to. Or they got hurt and didn't and decided they ain't gonna happen to me no more. And their ego got in the way. It happens. I get it.
let me throw a
Yeah.
monkey wrench
Go
to
ahead,
this
Kay.
thing too. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to look at from the young perspective. See, everybody's going to have a different viewpoint. Even though you could be looking at the same thing happening at the same time, but everybody's still going to have a different viewpoint from the angle that they see it, even though it's all the same thing. For example, as a youth, as a young child myself, I grew up with older brothers. So the way that my environment was basically follow the leader or follow the examples. Now the examples that I followed at that time as a young kid, I can never say I can never say that whatever they did and showed me was wrong if I never knew it. If I wasn't told what they're doing was wrong. So as I grow up doing certain things, I'm mimicking the environment or the examples I was given as a young boy. And of course, you got to look at it like, yo, that's my young brother. So he about to, he on the come up. You see what I'm saying? You have different levels from different perspectives of families. You know what I'm saying? So my level of maturity to me at that time was, yo, get a girl, got it, get it, move to the next, get it, got it. You know what I'm saying? That was the mentality until I met one who may have even had that same mentality and bust my bubble and made me feel low. Like, wow, I ain't think it could happen to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that ain't supposed to happen to a young player, but you learn. But you learn. And some
Mhm.
things, like, sometimes when you get hurt, some men get hurt. And again, I use me as the best example. When I got hurt, when I was being right and exact, I would take my anger out on the next person in different ways. I would never put my hands on a woman. I never do that. But I can probably hurt you mentally and physically. If you see me with somebody else, you're gonna get hurt. But I'd be like, you know what? You're gonna get over it, whatever. But those were the choices I made at times like that, which made me to say that I look back at myself 15 years, 20 years, whatever. You know what? I did what I did as a child, and some things were childish and some things were foolish, and you learn from it. And then as you get older, a lot of things you did purposely because it's like, yo, I don't give a damn. I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna do what I want to do. But you're not looking at the cause and effect that you could be doing, causing later on down the line, futurely, for your young prince coming up to be the next king under you. Because now, again, like you said, your pops left when you was like young age, but you chose to handle your life the best way you could from the environment that you grew up under to say, my choice is this. Okay. So you're the best example for your own experience, just like everybody else on the panel is for theirs. So how do we as black men let young youths out there who not even our family, but as we sitting on this panel, what advice could we give to the young? Because most of the time now, this young generation ain't trying to hear nothing we say, you know. But if we could give the most positive insight of our own experience to them, if I could do everything to change certain things, I wouldn't change it because if I didn't change it, I would still be that same person. Like, I don't know. I'm doing what I'm doing because it's right. but it took a lot. It took what I had to go through for me to get a better understanding about me and my faults and my situations, you know. And I wanted to say, I want to add this on when Father said he's only taking 50%. I got to correct you on that. To me, it's not that you're taking 50%. It's still 100% of you as a man for yourself to decide what you're going to take on for yourself. It's still
Right.
100% because it's 100% you. I understand you
You.
dividing the part about man and woman, but you still got 100% accountability of self in that whole situation. You still 100. She's still going to be 100. It's what you bring to that table to say in between that lines of like, all right, you're 100, my 100, we 200, but we got to meet. We still going to meet. We still individuals got to like to respect and understand one another. If not, then the best thing to do would be part ways. You know, regardless of that situation, everybody's still 100.
King Herman.
No, definitely when you talk about that young king, um, until that young king is ready to be that king, he gonna play the field. And when he's what he's allowed to do, 9 times out of 10, that's what happens until he either meets that one that shuts it down, or he makes that mistake and now he's like, yo, I shouldn't have did that. So next time when I get in the next one, I'll be ready. Um, as we talk to the youth, Sean, for all the wise, myself, and K Wise, even you, Ilyasa, all we could do is share with them our experiences, and it's really up to them, because a lot of times it's your environment, it's who you have that you're looking up to, and then yourself and your character development. Just like Sean at 17, but really since started chasing girls, I want that one. So that when I walk in the building, oh yeah, she's with her. That's how it's always been. Cause I mean, like you get one over here, one over there, one over here. There's no telling where you can be or where she could be. And your man who knows your situation, some odd reason decides to slip up and say something. And then women, once they get a little nugget, it's over. And you are done. It's over. You were done. So I've seen it happen to many of my boys, and and even you try to tell them, but it's always up to them. What do you want? And that's what it comes down to. What are you going to accept? What are you willing to tolerate? Because the other person that you're with, they see that, and if they're not mature, they're gonna run with that.
Father Wise.
The young king, the young me.
Yes.
Yeah, the young me, the young king, the god. All I can say is, yo, I traveled my 23 million square miles. That's all I can say. And I soared my royal oats. I did what I was doing. I didn't give a damn, and I kept it moving. And I just remember, check this out, right? It's funny, right? Now it's you know what? It's not even funny. Cause now I look back at it as like, yo, what the hell was you doing? I remember one summer, I was dealing with 8 chicks in one summer. Spend 2 days here, a day here, 3 days here, 2 days over here, one day over here. I think I was taking that root ginseng and taking Viagra before they started making it popular, right?
Yeah.
I was getting busy, right? But that was my young me. Now check me out, right? I said it. I already made it public, but this is the reason why I did that. When I was younger, right, I was beat up and raped by my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in the midst of that shit messed up my manhood. So I thought. Now the only way I think I can get that back is I gotta have a whole bunch of women. whole bunch of women here, women. But in all actuality, that wasn't the case. And I was young and I was a victim, right? But it messed with here. It messed with here. And it just let me know I had to get at all costs, I had to get what manhood or whatever you want to say it that way. But here's the thing, right? They would say, "Oh, he took my manhood before I even knew what it was." So I'm a victim, and in that process, I took a lot of hostages, trying to get myself back, feeling right or feeling like where I'm supposed to be, right? So, but now the old me, this guy here, right? I could tell you now, as far as a relationship goes, and I would love to have one, be in one, but I'm just starting after everything that happened with the daughters. I don't trust nobody. Straight like that. I don't trust nobody. You could say it. You can. I look at your actions, and even in some people's actions, I don't. Yo, I just yeah. I'm not even gonna sit here in front. Like I don't trust nobody. Period.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and for me, I'm just thinking like right now, it's just safe. It's just safe. Being by myself, I guess, is just safe. Cause I'm not, I always said this, right? I said, yo, the next person that hurt me or hurt my feelings after I've been the man, all the man that I can be for them, everything across the board, keeping it 100, the monogamous relationship, all that. The next person that hurt me, I'm putting their ass in the dirt. And that's just where I am with it. Maybe I
Well,
won't be there in a couple of years. Maybe I won't be there in a few months. But right now, that's where I am.
well, Father Allah, Father Wise Allah. First off, thank you for sharing your perspective. It was very candid and powerful, quite frankly. And even to the point of what you just described, where you are right now. And that's, I can't dispute through anything you're saying, and I can understand it. I will say that I pray that you can receive what it is that you deserve, because in what you just shared, you deserve it. So don't lose hope. And the way I feel about that, if you put somebody in the dirt for any reason, you're sacrificing your happiness and future in the first place for somebody else. And it's not working, because you still got a lot more that you can receive. On another note, some of us, to the young kings, I would say we could start like this. Some people learn through instruction, some people learn through experience. We should challenge them to learn through instruction, as opposed to having to always learn through experience, because experiences can be hard, as Father Wise just shared with us, and those experiences could lead you on a path to where you might not be able to overcome. So try to learn through instruction, and that instruction can only be received when you respect the person who's instructing you. So if you don't have the respect of those youth that you're talking to, it's not going to matter what you're saying. So you got to first gain that respect to where they're like, yo, what you got to say, OG, as they would call us, or what you got to say. So when they're there, say something substantial that can help them. Instruct them on understanding that, yo, it's like I tell people who question, well, why are you saying things you don't do? Well, it's like if I was a smoker and I'm telling you, yo, don't smoke cigarettes. Take it from my experience why I'm telling you not to smoke cigarettes, not my actions. because my actions are already far beyond coming back from. And if you can express that and they can receive it from that angle, they might be able to embrace it. And really, it's just about respecting and trusting, as he said. A lot of people don't trust. That's why I said I can understand it. A lot of people don't trust, but without trust, there is no love.
I had it's funny. One of the young kids, like you said on the job, like I remember teasing the older guys at the job when I first started. My man Oscar in particular, he showed me the ropes and everything. I used to pick with him every day. And he says to me, he says, "You're gonna be the old guy here soon, you see." And sure enough, every morning, them young cats, man, they 20, 21, 23, they pick with me. And I laugh and I have the respect, Treasure, I have their respect because they see me come in every day, do what I have to do. I give them advice. I let them know. I say, look, I've been here 32 years. You want to listen or you don't? And they all be like, nah, go ahead, OG. We hear you. Go ahead. So then one kid, I noticed the other day, this was three days ago, he was sitting on the bench and he was kind of by himself. So I walked over and I sat down. I said, "Yo, what up, youngin?" And he said, "Yo, man, she pregnant and I ain't ready to be none." And I was like, "You not ready to be none, father?" Yo, man, come on. I was like, "Yo, well, if you wasn't ready to be a father, why you ain't put a condom on? Or why you ain't pull out? Or why you ain't do something?" And he goes, "Yo, I know," but I was like, I said, you don't sound like you know. And then I said, "Yo, you sure this is what she telling you?" "It might be." I said, "All right, well," I said, and then my own stuff kicked in as far as, well, she's going to take a pregnancy test. I said, "Make sure you go with her and make sure you see the test results." I said, because sometimes women lie just to get that bread from you every month. And the next thing you know, oh, there ain't no belly getting bigger. What happened? I had a miscarriage. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, she already got you for a couple of hundred, maybe even a couple of thousand, depending on your character of a man that you are. Because if you're like me, like Sean, like Herm or KY, we gonna handle our business until we find out otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And we're not getting, like, that's what I said to him. And he just sat there and he soaked it all in. That Thursday he didn't come to work because he went with her, found out she wasn't. And then because he went in there and I said, "Yo, be persistent on seeing that test results, that paper." And he did that. And she kept saying, "Well, nah, it's okay." Nah, he was like, "Nah, let me see it." And he finally cracked it. He finally cracked her. She was trying to get bread from him. Right? Now, if she's younger, what type of woman is she gonna be when she get older? Is she gonna still be doing that stuff? Well, come on, man. Like,
but it's just like how y'all all said, it's about the environment that they are coming from. So that's behavior.
I know some people who come from the worst environments and are the most honorable people. Your environment don't determine. I don't. For me, your environment don't.
She's not talking. She's not talking. Yeah. I don't think she's talking about the place. She's talking about the influences.
Right. No, I was understanding. Yeah. I was going to say both set. Like, I know some people who come from the worst mindsets and influences, and they're the most honorable people that I know.
I mean, in fairness, you're right. Because I'm from East New York, Brooklyn. I was from literally the Terror Building where we learned to rob or be robbed. So I can't say exactly what you're saying. It wasn't about where I was from, because if I listened to everything that I was influenced by, I would have just been out there too chasing my, but there was one person in my building, and he don't even know it, but he was the most influential person to me. He wasn't an attractive man. He wasn't a a street guy. He was a Jehovah Witness, unattractive man, but he had the most courtesy, and he was very polite. And what I noticed is that all the women loved and spoke about him every time he left, more than anybody. They'd be like, "Oh, he's so nice. Oh, and he wasn't trying to get with none of the women. He was just basically a Jehovah's Witness doing what he was doing. But everybody spoke about him, and that was the one guy that I was like, "Yo, I like the response he's getting," and that's what helped shape my character the way I went.
And I understand that because
that was a part of his product of the environment
Absolutely.
he encountered with. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, what I'm saying with that, the worst of the worst can be the best in any situation. Okay,
Mhm.
you know. So, but again, it's by choices. It's by the decisions that we choose whether to go left or right, and it's still going to be based on some of the experiences we've seen forthcoming within our own or from somebody else's. We take and learn from everybody we encounter, but
Yeah.
like I said, but it boils down to the decision factor of what we
Decisions that we
choose.
make.
Yeah.
What we choose. So our DNA makeup my DNA makeup is everything from Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island to even my military experience, so forth and so. That's all part of my DNA to me because it's a part of what I grew up in, and here I am. You understand what I'm saying? So again, my experiences I can only share, just like King Herm said, we can share our experiences with the youth, but always the choice will be what they decide for themselves is the path that they will choose. And we always hope we just like our parents. I hope that you choose the right path. I hope that you choose the right path. Hell, sometimes that right path made us go wrong because we was like, that right path looks so boring as hell. But this fucked up path, oh, excuse me, this messed up path looks so tasty and tempting that we
Tyson.
might tiptoe through them tulips sometime. You know what I mean? So, but it's about what we do. What we do. If we don't do it, then it's what we do next.
Yeah.
It's what
I
we
wish
do
I would have
next.
stayed. Yeah, I wish I would have stayed on the path that my dad laid out, but it just didn't happen.
Cause
I
guess
had
what?
to experience
It,
my own. Like I
but
wish
it's
I did.
okay though.
He's talking about. It's funny. He said Brooklyn. Before I came to Freeport, that's where I'm from. I'm from Brownsville, Tilden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and
But
then
Yeah.
you
we
see,
came on out to Freeport.
when you say what you wish, guess what?
Uh,
It's all good to say what you wish, but guess
Can't
what?
hear you.
Everything that everything that happened, when you say what you wish could have happened, what you wish you could have said, everything happens for a reason.
most definitely, most definitely. My
And you know
road.
Agreed.
that. You know that. So
Yeah, of
our
course.
our blueprint, because like I said, father, I too was violated in a way. I was violated by some perp out there. And whenever that thing happened to me, every night I would walk down that same path, hoping I would run into that person again because I was ready to take their life. And I was doing that even as I got older. And so because of that trauma, I treated certain people of a different way,
Yeah.
in a way of like, yo, everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. But I had to learn that everybody wasn't responsible for that which took place. You see? So again, as I grow with a different aspect of things as it comes back, you know, and I salute you. I salute you 100% for bringing your real truth out here because not too many brothers, not too many men will step up to that mantle and let you know how deep it is within them things that hurt them. So again, I salute you. I salute everybody because everybody got a story to tell. I just hope that we as these leaders here bring that platform to the front so that others can be willing to share and bring enlightenment into our future.
Yo, can I read something, Lisa? Can I read something?
Mm-hmm.
This is I know y'all seen it. I know Lisa's seen it, but this was it right here, right? Um when I said I'm taking responsibilities for my action, taking responsibilities for who I am. Um, Here it goes. This is what I wrote, and I put it out there. It's like I've been working on myself. I've been working on me for the last 17 years. I had my share of breakups, breakdowns, and breakthroughs. Therapy, recovery, and medication all play a vital role in my life today. I survived molestation, rape by a family member, male. I survived years of torturing and bullying. I survived the crack explosion of the 80s, for which I spent 20 plus years of my life using drugs. And because of that, I also spent time in prison. I have been betrayed by the one who I loved the most. I survived me because I was my own worst enemy. Low self-esteem with a gigantic ego. I've been kicked and shitted on while I was down and out. And just to put it in better words, I'm not just a survivor, I'm a warrior. And for the last 17 years, I've been fighting for me. I have been on the path that the Father Law has laid out. I have been clean, no drinking, no drugs. I have been good to my cipher, my friends, and most importantly, I've been good to myself. And that's where I left off at. Yeah.
And that was excellent. That was excellent. That's the whole point and purpose of this platform.
Absolutely.
For men to speak, to be heard, because there's men suffering in silence, just like there's women suffering in silence. And if we don't bring awareness to let people know it's okay, you identified what you wanted. You want your life back. You said no more. You stood up for yourself. Yes, your life is not perfect, but you're working on it. And that's the point and principle that you said, I'm taking accountability. And I'm giving you applause. Because guess what? I bet you everybody out here watching you and listening to you right now cannot do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won't do that.
Can I say this?
Yes, sir.
What I'm saluting is your honesty. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people are not honest. And if you can't be honest to yourself, you can't be honest to anyone else. So when I say I salute, not only everything that you've been through that you just shared was very powerful and deserves a salute as well. But your honesty on sharing it, salute, brother, salute.
Thank you. Everybody who knows me know. They all of them will tell you, KYs. Me and Herm are just really getting to know each other. But Elisha and KYs, I've known them since 4th grade, 5th grade. And they'll always tell you, right? I'm always 100. I may not always be right, but I'm always real. That's it.
And that in itself is the character that we were speaking about yesterday that a lot of women miss.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get that invite yesterday. I saw that.
I was gonna call you too, brother.
Yeah. I wasn't sleeping. I saw the women, and then I saw you guys. I logged on. I was looking, and I'm trying to get backstage, and then it says show has ended, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't get no invite." Okay, I'm gonna bring that up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get my own show saying I didn't get on your show. Right? You don't want to put me on there with the women because she never know what I'm gonna say. Because I get it though. I respect that because she know I'm not Sean. I'm a lie. I'm not Sean. I'm not King. No, I
just want gentlemen.
No, I wasn't. I was wide awake.
Man, you might have scared them though. You might have said, "I'm gonna put you in the dirt."
But you know what? She knows me. She knows me. Can't no woman come at me or come for me because I know a lot of men don't argue with women And you know, most guys be like, I don't know, no, you can't win no argument with no woman. That ain't true. 'Cause
Oh,
I don't
you
play. I
absolutely
don't
right.
play
Oh, I
that.
can't wait till next week.
I don't play
Yeah.
that. You come for me, I'm coming for you. Plain and simple.
Bringing
I
my
have
brothers.
5 of them getting at me.
Yeah,
I can't wait
Bringing
till
my
next week.
brothers.
yeah. You can't come at me. I don't play that. Especially, I can just imagine one woman. I heard a little piece that she was saying something, and I was like, oh, she got attitude too. I
Yeah,
said, oh, that's why.
it
That's
picked
why.
up. It picked up.
I was like, that's why she ain't put me on this show. Cause I got yo, I'm with all that petty shit, petty stuff. I'm with all of that. Like, yo, I'm ready to do battle all day. I'm with that petty back and forth man and woman. Yo, you ain't women ain't get. Let's do it.
Okay, again, this is not about that.
I
We are
know.
about solution, not the problem.
I
The
know that.
solution, okay? The
No,
solution.
not a
No, but
solution. Good, but I didn't get on the
the
show.
time has come where our hour has come to a close.
Oh,
And
Oh
again,
man.
it's always a warm reception I receive from all you kings. And again, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for your honesty. I appreciate you for your presence. I appreciate you for your compassion, your commitment, your wisdom, and the ability to communicate, share. But also, what it is, I appreciate the power that you have within inside of you that you want to take and share your experiences for the people behind you, because everyone, they will go through something, but they'll lock it up within themselves, and they'll say F the people behind them, right? So again, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you going through this journey with me, because we all are learning something. We all are, because every conversation, it'll trigger something that you didn't know about yourself, and then you have to step back and think about it. I don't know about y'all, but I press the replay and I listen to it again, because I'll pick up things that I may have missed. Then I'll pick up things like, Dag, I didn't know that about myself. Right? right? So, and when that process happens, I'm learning things about myself, but I'm also learning what I like, dislike, and want to change. Right? So, not only that, and part of me is healing too. Just like I know y'all are healing as well. So every week, believe it or not, we are working on ourselves together and individually. Not only that, we're bringing this awareness, and other people are listening. And we are in households around the nation, right? So this is not just something, we're just talking. No, we're not talking. We're ministering. We're learning. We're healing. We're sharing. We're loving, right? So don't think this is a little thing here, y'all. This is this is way bigger than our thoughts. This is way larger than our imagination. God is here.
Yes, he
Whether
is.
you understand it or not, God is here. Right here. We talked about so many things, but at the end of the day, this is about love. We want love. We are human. Humans want love. Humans want to be emotionally attached, connected, fulfilled, loved, touched, the warmth from another person. They want that. So we have to break the barriers of what's in between us so we can love each other. And I will tell you this, the only way we're going to stop hurting and heal is if we forgive. We have to forgive ourselves. for making the decisions that we made to put us in places that we shouldn't have been. We have to heal ourselves by forgiving ourselves, to realizing that our mindsets needed to change so we can go forward and let go of what we are holding hostage onto ourselves because we could not forgive. Praying and forgiving means everything when it comes to healing. Because if you don't let go, there is a place that you're going to stagnate yourself and you won't move and love won't truly happen. We are all capable of love, but we must forgive those who have hurt us and let God handle our hearts so we can heal our minds. We can heal in our spirit. We can heal in our bodies. Because what happens is when you don't forgive, it will mentally and physically do damage to you beyond your imagination. You will wake up one day and can't walk. Wake up one day and can't breathe. Wake up one day and your heart is in respiratory failure, because it starts in your mind and it shifts to your body. If you don't learn to forgive, forgiveness is important. And if you don't let go, your heart is hardened. But you can't walk around with a hardened heart and want love. It's like oil and water. You thirst for love. Let go and drink from that fountain. There's nothing stopping you but yourself. It is within your mind. Ask yourself, what do you want? And if you say no more, I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to go through what I went through anymore. If you don't let go and give it to God, when I tell you, you will stay stuck in a dirt, in a ditch of blackness, and you won't come out. Otherwise, I am telling you, you don't have to think to put nobody in the dirt, because you're going to put your own self in the dirt. You gotta let go, because you are capable of loving again, more so than you ever imagined. You will keep people from being with you because you carry yesterday in your spirit. Forgiveness is the only way you're gonna find love again. You are a loving individual. You deserve love. But you gotta forgive. You gotta forgive and let yourself free from that mental prison. You are amazing. You are outstanding. You are uplifting. You are an inspiration. You are a motivation. You are a king. You deserve to be loved more so than you ever experienced in your life. You gotta forgive. God will help you. God will guide you. You pray about that thing. I promise you, love will find you. It will find all of us because we deserve what we are. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are setting examples for men that has not matured mentally as you have. Your experiences have over exceeded the average man to any woman. Pat yourselves on the back. Y'all have made an example for somebody to look up to. Y'all are kings. I promise you, the leader in you will find love again. Let go and forgive. You have to learn how to trust. Trust yourself. Trust God. Pray about it. Tell him what you want. You will have it. You will have it. So I thank every one of you again and again for being royalty, on this platform of men. Where is my king? Kings are right here. Y'all are kings. So I thank you so much. And I thank everybody who came on the line tonight. And I'm asking people, please share this platform. Like the charge room. Follow the charge room. Follow the charge room on Instagram. Subscribe to the Charge Room Inc. on YouTube so you will never miss another episode. We are here, the charge room. This is about healing, everybody. This is about bringing awareness to topics that no one wants to talk about. Love is here, and we can love together. We don't have to struggle alone because love is here. So stop not trusting the process and let go and let God help you. So I thank everybody for coming on tonight. This was a beautiful session as always. So next week, we're going to bring women onto this same topic and add it to the panel. So I'm looking for 4 women. Please connect with me. I need 4 women for next Thursday at 7 p.m. Yes, sir.
Can I say something real quick that while we was going through this, I ain't try to let nobody know, but on the job I got a call from my supervisor that one of my fellow colleague coworkers had passed away yesterday, and they found him today, and they just told me
Wow.
about that while I was riding. So all of this that we've been talking to has been helping me go through because he was a good dude, very good dude, still a young man. You know what I'm saying? And for life, he had a stroke. So it's important that we take care of ourselves and get ourselves checked out, especially black men. I urge everybody, man. Don't be afraid if something's bothering you. Don't be afraid to go to a doctor or get somebody to check you out. Go get that help. Get somebody to look at you. Don't let that ego go. Or, just get yourselves checked, man. I love each and every one of y'all, man. And my boy, all I can say is to my boy D, man, I love you, and I just thank everybody for this panel, this situation. So I'm good. I just wanted to I had to get that out.
Well,
My
blessings to you, King.
condolences to you,
My
King.
condolences to
Those
the
is
family.
gay.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
My condolences to you, King.
Yes.
yeah.
Um, So again, thank you everybody for coming on to the men's platform. Where is my king? Hashtag the men's locker room. It has been well. So we'll see you next week. Please, I need 4 queens to please connect with me so we can do the female perspective and new men and women sit down and discuss the topic,
Yeah.
because
And Father
again,
Wise,
it's about healing, y'all.
yeah, Father
It's
Wise,
about
I once again I commend you, and as well, like I said, without trust there is no love, and you deserve love, brother.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
It's
try
coming.
and get that back.
I think
Wakanda
nobody.
forever.
Yeah, You stupid.
Wakanda forever, my brother. You
I
will
think
find love. There's
in
love in Wakanda. There's
Wakanda,
always love in Wakanda, my brother.
I think I always told everybody, they said, no, there's somebody for everybody. Trust me, you. I just think my somebody got hit by a bus crossing the street. She
Well,
got
She
go
hit.
pick her
survived.
up.
She
Go pick her up
survived.
and wheel her to you.
She survived, brother. She's still
Yeah, go
walking.
pick
She
her up and wheel her
survived.
to you.
I gotta pick her pick her up out of the street and put her in the
Yeah,
wheel.
and wheel her on over.
Now,
You don't got to worry about her
what's
going
gonna
nowhere
happen?
from
Okay,
that.
I'm
They
closing the call now, so y'all just getting off of my broadcast. Let me remove y'all from the broadcast so I can close it down. Yes, thank you, everyone. So please help me out. Please like the Charge Room on Facebook. Please follow the Charge Room on Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Charge Room Inc. And never miss an episode because you will be notified. It will pop up on your phone, whatever device that you use. Because this is us communicating with each other and sharing to the world. You know, life is important. It is important. We don't have time to waste. We don't have time to play games. We only have time to live purposefully, intentionally. Love is here. God is here. Pray, and God shall answer. So until next week, please reach out to me. I need 4 queens for next Thursday. Next Thursday, I need 4 queens because we're going to pick up the same topic. Today was the men's perspective. Next week, we're adding the women's perspective onto this platform. So Thursday at 7 p.m. I thank you, everyone, because we are getting somewhere. We are cracking open this egg and we are coming on out. So again, we have to detach from our old baggage to find love, right? We have to stop choosing to be the sideline chick. We are better than that. So no more sideline chick. We have to step up with the maturity, right? We have to take accountability to position ourselves 100% to what we want. We have to ask ourselves, what do we want? And position ourselves for what we want, right? We are going to not let things pass us by. We are going to address it. We are going to have effective communication, right? Speak up. Speak up now. Don't sit and be silent because when you're silent, you're going to be hurting and you're going to not trust, right? You're going to fear to speak up for yourself for fear of losing that mate. So don't be scared now. Don't be scared. Advocate for yourself. Learn to approach your situation with maturity and wisdom. Have a plan, right? Have a plan. And don't forget, be honest. Be honest with yourself. Walk in your truth. Be honest and walk in your truth. And most of all, set your blueprint. Set a blueprint, create a plan, and it's all from asking yourself, what do you want? Going after it. Pray about it, and God will do it for you. So I'll see you next week, same station, same time, 7 o'clock. Everyone, thank you so much for stopping by and share. Have a great night. Good night.